My question exactly.
You've got, at a big meeting of, say, a general meeting of 30 people, and we use this to create a circle of, say, 4 people.
You can. When we implement it, if we decide we'd like to start from scratch and propose to nominate, propose, and give consent to each person in each circle, we could do that. It'll take a while so that we know we have to trade time for that process. We could also take the existing teams and committees that we have in our communities, teams and committees, and just go with them. And take whoever is the chairperson or vocalizer and call them operational leader. We could. In a business or nonprofit that's got a structural hierarchy that already has it, they already have their departments. They might want to tweak it a little bit. And when Sheila and John and the other TSCG consultants work with the group, they do a power analysis of the existing structure to see how it might be improved or made better, easier or clearer for purposes of sociocracy. For those of us in communities, we might already start from where we're at, or not. Depends on what groups want to do.
I think some of you are aware of this, but I just want to make sure because it's so cool. The election process can be used for other things besides selecting people for roles. What the election process is good for is anytime you have a fixed number of options to select among them. For example, a garden that we're going to put in, suppose we had narrowed it down to 3 locations. We have an election process to pick which of those 3 locations. Everybody nominates the location they want, say the reasons for it. Have first the criteria for how you're going to, what's the criteria by which to choose one of these, and then everybody makes their nomination for which plot meets those criteria. You do a change round, just exactly like what we did. It's so cool. So I want to ask you a couple questions about the process and get your thinking. So one thing that does not happen in this is lots of discussion ahead of time about who are we going to nominate. Why do you think that is?
Because that goes against the transparency and equivalence.
And how does it go against equivalence?
Because if someone says that they're talking to this person, they want to participate, and they're talking to this person, they want, then there's this pervasive thought, oh, that person really wants that role, so I will put my name in.
Right. So I want to come at equivalence from a slightly different perspective, and then also put it in a little broader context. Yeah.
Well, one of the other perspectives is that then not everybody gets to hear what is being said.
Right. So those are two related pieces, and I want to address each of them and expand the context a little bit. Do you remember Diana talked about this a little bit, and I talked about it. You remember what the 2 criteria are for a self-organizing system? External source of energy and equivalence, which means no one element is being controlled by another element. They're all independent. And you preserve that by hearing everybody's nominations before you've talked about it. Can you hold on till I finish it?
Sure.
So I want to, and then the external source of energy in this case is the need to nominate somebody. You have something you're trying to accomplish. So the other thing I want to say is, Diana alluded at the beginning to chaos theory. What we have, the nomination process can seem chaotic at first. There's lots of different nominations. That's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. And this has to do with modern chaos theory, that the order comes out of the chaos. But you want that diversity of ideas to start with. There could be 4 people nominating one person, and just one person nominating somebody else. And in the change round, they might all go to nominate that person because the arguments were so strong. And if you don't have all those diverse ideas, you're losing information. So having chaos is a good thing in this case. And I can tell you a wonderful story. This is from an elementary school in North Carolina that's been using Sociocracy. I think they call it dynamic governance there for some years now. And when they first started out, they had an election for who was going to facilitate the teacher's circle. And the person who The person who was selected is a teacher named Julie, and she was a little on the shy side. She was great with the children, but she's a little on the shy side with other adults, and the other teachers just didn't know her that well. She was the only person who nominated herself. Nobody else did, but she said it with such passion and with such good reasons why she had the perfect skill set and why she would grow from this and it would benefit the group and how much she wanted to contribute, that practically everybody changed to her in the change round, and she was the person chosen and absolutely came out of her shell and did a fabulous job as facilitator. So if we don't get that diversity of ideas, that we lose that.
What we want to do is briefly demonstrate but not practice role improvement feedback.
So, thank you.
Okay, we're going to do some role improvement feedback for Frodo as ring bearer. Frodo, as you know, you need to assemble your team. You are the one who chooses the team to give you feedback. This will consist of first, someone you report to or see as a mentor or teacher, or someone from a higher circle. Second, one or two peers, people from your own circle. And third, someone from a lower circle, or to whom you see as reporting to you. Have you chosen your team? And also we need someone to facilitate.
Yes. First is Lord Elrond, who has kindly given us refuge here in his elvish kingdom of Rivendell. This is where our company has had rest while I've been recuperating from the stab wound. And also you, Gandalf the Grey, the wizard. You've helped us so much so far and are like a leader to our small band. And my hobbit cousins and friends, Merry and Pippin. And my dear long-term gardener and friend from the Shire, Sam Gandy, who's with us too. Mary, would you please facilitate?
Sure, I'd be glad to. Okay, the team is Lord Elrond, our host, Gandalf, who served as a kind of leader of the company we've traveled so far, and Pippin and myself, your fellow hobbits on your journey, and Sam Gandy, who's been with you all your life. Okay, I'll remind everyone how role improvement feedback works. First step, Frodo, is telling the group what you think is going well in your role of carrying the ring.
Okay, well, we still have the ring. We haven't been captured. We escaped the orcs. The ring wraiths didn't catch us, thanks to Lady Arwen and Lord Elrond's magic white horses.
Okay, great. Now, members of the team, would each of you say what you think has gone well so far with Frodo in this role? Lord Elrond?
I agree with Frodo. In addition, the lad has kept his spirits up most of the time and patiently carried the ring.
Thank you. Pippin?
Well, I agree. And Frodo's good company as always.
Thank you, Pippin. For myself, I agree with all this. And when we find a rabbit and Frodo cooks rabbit stew with wild herbs, it's always delicious. Oh, how I miss strawberry cream cheese pastries and honey meat from the Shire. How about you, Sam?
Oh, I agree. Mr. Frodo has done a fine job. He has steady and patient.
Thank you. Gandalf?
Yes. Our young halfling has done well. Just as we said when we chose him, he's been patient, persistent, and responsive.
Okay, thanks everyone. This next part of role improvement feedback is where Frodo says anything he thinks he could have done better. Frodo?
Okay, it's been really hard to do this job, and I've been scared a lot. I was really scared when we were at the Hill of Weathertop. I put my ring on then, and then one of the ring wraiths could see me better, and he stabbed me with the Morgul dagger. I don't know whether putting the ring on was a bad thing to do or not. If I hadn't, we were in danger. I'd be found, and the ring wraiths might steal the ring and take it to Mordor. But when I did, the ring wraith stabbed me. It was awful.
Thank you. In the next part of the role improvement process, each member of your team will say what they think could have been improved. Lord Elrond?
I agree that was a difficult decision, Frodo. I think that in the future, I'd try to do anything else first before wearing the ring, even for a second. Because as you learned, Frodo, a stab wound from a ring wraith's Morgul blade is so ice cold and fatal that it was only our elvish magic that could heal you. But now you'll be safer with a special vest of chainmail made long ago with dwarfish silver.
Thank you, Lord Elrond. Pippin?
Well, I agree. I don't think you should have put the ring on there. Please don't put it on again unless you really have to, Flo.
Thank you. I'll take my turn. Yes, that was a bad moment. Please don't put it on. Unless it's to save all our lives, of course. Sam?
Oh, I agree, Mr. Frodo. I don't want you ever to get stabbed again. Please be more careful.
Gandalf?
Ah, yes, lad. That wasn't your best moment. In the future, be more mindful of how one becomes more visible to the dark forces when one slips on the ring. It's only for emergencies. It should be used when it's absolutely necessary.
Okay, everyone, thank you. Now, next step in role improvement feedback, Frodo, is for you to propose a plan for how you will incorporate both the positive feedback and suggestions for improvement into your next steps in your role as carrier of the ring. And remember, you can ask for help from others. Are you ready to do that now?
Yes. Okay, thank you everyone for the feedback. Here's what I'll do from now on. I'll keep on carrying the ring, being patient, persistent, and like you said, Pippin, trying to still be good company as we go along. And I'll always wear the magic silver vest, and will be very careful from now on not to put the ring on, unless it's a life or death situation for us, or for the ring to be captured. And I'll ask for your continued good help in keeping each other in good spirits on this long journey. That's what I'll do.
Okay, thank you, Frodo. Now, the last step in the role improvement feedback process is we have a consent round for people in your circle, the company of this journey. Yourself, Aragorn, Pippin, Sam, Gandalf, myself, and the new members who will join us. Gimli, descendant of dwarves kings, Legolas, the elven archer, and Boromir, a prince of Gondor. These circle members are the ones who need to consent to your plan for improvement, Frodo, or through an objection to modify it. Aragorn, since you're the facilitator for Frodo's circle, I'll turn it over to you.
Glad to. Let's start with you, Mary. Do you have an argued paramount objection to the plan for role improvement Frodo just described?
No objection.
Sam?
No objection.
Gandalf?
No objection.
Gimli?
No objection.
No objection.
And Boromir?
No objection to the little guy's plan.
I have no objection. Frodo?
No objection.
Pippin?
No objection.
Okay, fine. Frodo's circle, his companions on the journey, have consented to his plan for improvement. He'll keep on carrying the ring, being patient and persistent, will try to still be good company as we go along, and he will always wear the magic silver vest, and will be very careful not to put on the ring, unless it's a life or death situation for us, or for the ring to be captured. Well, that's our role improvement feedback session for Frodo. Thank you, everyone. And now, let's get ready for the rest of this long journey.
Yay!
Yay!